Hi, I'm Kristyn Burtt for LifeScript.com. Are you confused about postnatal nutrition? Well, registered dietitian and author Ashley Koff gave me some great tips for navigating a healthy diet after giving birth.
Tell us a few general tips that new moms need to know about when it comes to postnatal nutrition.
So the first tip that I have is what we want to be doing is you want to put the best quality food into your body, the food that your body can recognize. So the key thing at that point, my patients all know I talk about prenatal is organic, but you really want to look for organic, especially what you're having on a consistent basis in that postnatal time period. And the rationale behind that is you want to give your body as much as nutrient dense, as much of what it can have and needs, and you don't want to give it anything that might irritate it or might just overwhelm it because it's already a little bit overwhelmed. So organic's going to be so important. The second step is going to be foods in their whole food form, ideally, right? So I'm totally understanding and empathetic. You know, if you're just grabbing, it's going to be that grabbing thing. Now, the interesting thing is most moms are home a little bit more during the immediate postnatal time period. So part of it is actually stocking up your home. So another tip that I have is frozen organic is totally awesome. You can actually make things ahead of time. So maybe in that third trimester, you can make things, or you can also, all those people that want to bring things over and do things for you, can even say to them, you don't have to come over, but if you want to send me something I can freeze, I can, do it well that way. So I would say, definitely to focus on that piece. And then from a nutrition standpoint, we want to maintain the nutrients that we were intending to get in during pregnancy. So one of the things really important, essential fatty acids. So the essential fatty acids are so important for turning off your inflammation, or what I'll say is promoting a healthy inflammatory response. So that's going to be really key, again, for that recovery of the body. And the reason recovery is so important is when you're talking about creating breast milk, you're also saying the body needs to remember that it's okay in order to produce enough breast milk. So that's going to be really important. Those essential fatty acids transfer over to the baby, so that's really helpful and healthful. Other nutrients that are really important, are the ones that we talked about it during pregnancy, where you want to be thinking about things like your B vitamins. You want to think about vitamin D. You want to think about calcium. Nutrients that are going to go towards replenishing your stores in your body. Now, none of this works if your body doesn't digest and absorb the nutrients. And I think so the third tip, or we might be on to 4 or 5. Fourth tip at this point is I like to say, remember, you are not what you eat. You are not what you eat. You actually are what you digest and absorb. And so we have a lot of people today, and kudos to them, and I'm so happy, they're like, oh, I'm going to grab, a kale salad, or I'm going to, make this super complicated dish that has a lot of fiber in it and all this stuff. But if your body is not digesting and absorbing it, and a lot of times that means allowing the body to relax and to be able to get something in a way that it feels is going to be easy for it to break down. So if it's not digesting and absorbing it well, then the nutrients aren't getting where they need to go. So one of the things that we rely on, and it has, just like giving birth and having healthy kids, like has centuries of experience, that we can count on, fermentation does as well. So fermentation, if you look at all of the healthiest communities around the world and cultures, pun intended on the word culture, and cultures around the world, is they all have different foods that are a staple part of their diet that are fermented. So fermented and cultured, we use them interchangeably. And the key thing about that is that when fermentation occurs, it actually starts the breakdown of the food, so it makes the nutrients more absorbable. So what I like to say is it's kind of like having a blender, that you're for your food outside, and you're bringing it in. The body says super easy to digest. A lot of people love things like kombucha and some of these others, and those are great sources of probiotic, and I like for you to get them in from a dietary standpoint, but that's different than actually having your food and your nutrients come in a fermented form.